I'm Chef Susan O'Dell of Foodelle.com. I'm a professional teaching chef and a graduate of Le Cordon Bleu. Whenever I make roast turkey or roast chicken, stuffing is my side dish of choice. And I like to make it extra special by putting it in muffin tins. You bake the stuffing in a muffin tin and it gets nice and brown on top and it stays beautifully soft inside. Let's have a look at the recipe. Let's get started by cooking our bacon. I've got a pan that I'm heating. It's dry. There's no oil in there. And I'm going to add 6 ounces of chopped bacon. I just want to saute this until the bacon gets nice and brown and crisp, about 8 to 10 minutes. Once your bacon is nice and brown, use a slotted spoon and take it out and put it in a bowl. We're going to save it for later, but we want all that nice bacon fat because we're going to cook our onions and celery in it. In addition to the bacon fat, we want some butter to flavor our stuffing. This is 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. You know where this gets its flavor. I've also got a 1 yellow onion that I've finely chopped and 3 stalks or ribs of celery. We're going to saute these until they're golden brown. So you want to keep the heat about medium-high and keep stirring occasionally just to make sure they don't burn on the bottom. My vegetables have been sauteing for just about 15 minutes. It's starting to brown really nicely. The onions are getting brown and soft. I've got 2 Fuji apples that I'm going to add to the mix, and I just diced these. I cored them and peeled them and cut them pretty small so that they're bite-sized. I've also got a cup of walnuts. If you prefer, you can use pecans, anything to give the mix a nice crunch. I've got a teaspoon of dried sage for flavoring, and I have 2 teaspoons of dried thyme. We just want to mix all of that together and cook it for about 3 to 5 minutes more, just until the apples start to soften. Then we're going to add all of these ingredients to the bowl that we have our bacon in and give it a good stir. This is going to be some good stuffing. The main part of my stuffing is bread. I bought some French bread a couple of days ago and left it out. You want it kind of dry and crusty, so it's good for stale bread. I cut it into about 1/4 inch cubes. Just add all of those good cooked ingredients to your bread cubes and give it a good stir. The stuffing can be made up until this point a day in advance. Just keep it in your refrigerator. Now to add moisture, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of chicken stock. This is low sodium chicken stock, of course, and I'm going to give that a good stir. If it still seems dry, add a little more chicken stock or some water. Once your bread cubes are nice and soggy and moist, taste it and add some salt and pepper. You're going to need it. Start with 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Keep tasting and adding until you like it. I've greased my muffin tin with a little soft butter. You could also use vegetable spray if you prefer. And now I'm just going to fill up each muffin cup pretty full with my stuffing. Then you want to just press it down really well with your fingers. You want them to be pretty compact. You want to bake your muffins for about 20 minutes in a 350-degree oven, just until they're nice and brown on top. My muffins cooked for 25 minutes. I left them in a little longer to make sure they were nice and brown on top. They're sizzling hot and they look delicious. Now we just need to pop them out of their tin and serve. This recipe made 22 stuffing muffins. That's a lot of stuffing. Invite everyone you know because they're all going to love them, or just have the recipe for a smaller group. Bon appetit.